And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as like
the hero. I knew it. I was just about to say it. The hero. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So pretty much we have some real insane news / expose going on. Also, before we get started, just because me randomly just saying that and not actually telling you guys where I've been so busy. Like, I've been doing work for a lot of other people. I've been doing a lot of work for Lenovo. That's like a peripheral / PC component company, technology company, computer company. They sent me a couple of PCs. I've been doing videos on them. So I've just been super swamped this month, which is unfortunate because I wanted to get so much horror stuff out the way. But pretty much, I do apologize. I got some Xbox content that I was going to do, like talking about everything that's going on with them. But we're going to start doing our reactions on this channel based on just whatever's going on. And they may not be high quality videos in terms of like 4K and shit, but just getting you guys the news I think is like super important. So let's talk about it. Emiru, who's in which a huge streamer on Twitch, which a lot of people do know. So if you don't know who Emiru is, pretty much he's just a cosplay / streamer. Very well known in the Twitch space. You should look her up. And some super unfortunate news where she just broke out and broke silence on another streamer who's well known and is very controversial. I think he used to be a part of OTK. His name is Mizkif, or I think he is, or I don't know, but his name is Mizkif. And it's just one of those situations where, man, and she just came out talking about how he abused her, threatened her. Like, it's a lot of stuff, so it's heavy. We're gonna react to it right now. If there's other news and stuff like that, I'm looking for some of y'all out there to join my Discord. I'll give you certain permission roles so that way we could communicate more on what's like going on in the world, and I'll talk about it in these videos. But without further ado, I don't want to waste no time. Let's get it on and popping.
Or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this.
Oh man.
Just give me some time.
I can only imagine the nerves that she's going through, bro.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of I guess you could say like fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, you know, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that, so.
Oh man, here we go.
Information. I initially moved in, sorry, I'm still sick, like I said.
You can tell she is nervous. She is moving so jittery, dude. That's so sad.
This is all public, obviously, this part. I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021.
Right after COVID.
He offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there.
Wow.
I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together, and I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022. After I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but let's just, you know, making that clear for details.
Codependent, okay.
He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything.
Okay.
So yeah, besides
I'm bad if I'm not talking, y'all. I'm just trying to like hear what's going on.
The start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So,
Well, let me be honest. I think there's levels to that. I'm gonna speak on this as a guy. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think I heard T Bank speak on this shit too. Cause I don't give a shit. Like, no, and not about this situation, but just in general, like, call it insecurity, call it what you want, right? It's the attention that's drawn. I think the attention drawn. Some people live their life by, man, who cares what people say? Who cares what people say? And I always live by that code until I got on the internet. And when I got on the internet, you kind of have to care what people say. The reason is because if you're by yourself, I think fuck it. Like, do what you want to do. But you're still at risk because God forbid you wear certain stuff and you do certain things. People on the internet are fucking weird. And sometimes they draw attachments by just saying, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful." And you might respond in such a kind way and be like, "Oh, thank you so much." But people got this parasocial behavior that gets very, very weird. And some of people end up stalking you. They end up paying for whatever website you have your outfits on. They might try to like get more things out of you. They might try to donate so much money to you, and you're just innocently just saying thank you so much. And people create nasty behaviors for it. And that's all because of how they view you, because of your responses. So I will say that if say my shorty was to dress a certain way, or any woman that I've been with, I would always, especially where I'm from, going outside and going to the movie theaters or going somewhere back in the days, when I would walk past a group of people, I already know they're probably gonna say something, whoever I was with. But it does come to a point where if it's late at night, we walk and you dressed a certain way, and they say something, it's me against what, three people, two people. Like, I just want to avoid trouble. Can you please just dress a little bit more appropriate when you're around me, when we head in places, because I want to avoid whatever, because people are crazy in this world. I could walk past them, and they and remember, it used to be like, just don't say nothing, just ignore them. But yeah, okay, I'll ignore them. But there's some people that are like, he gonna act like he didn't hear me. Yeah, we talking about you with the fact. And then sometimes they might get even upset that I'm ignoring them, and they might try to challenge you. If you're gonna be one of those people that act like still, oh, it's your insecurity, then you gotta really like respect a lot of people's views and experiences in life and why they may feel that way. If you're just a jealous guy because you're afraid your woman's gonna leave you for somebody saying comments on the internet, that's completely different. And yeah, you might need to fix that. But I've been like that. I'm very, you could, I would say that I was controlling before a lot in my life about like what the woman I was with wearing, because if I got into you because I saw some ass, I would appreciate it. Now that we're in a relationship, let's kind of carry ourselves differently because you got a man now. Like, before, I was falling for you because I seen butt cheeks, I seen mad shit, you was talking to me nasty, you know. Come on, man. Like, now we heading outside. You know, you don't need to dress like that for who now? You know what I'm saying? Like, for what? You know what I'm saying? Any situation. That's just me. But I didn't carry it out in a way where you would have to view me like I'm scary. No, it's more so like I just would love for you to view my stance on it, and I wouldn't put you in a situation where women would try to make you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't fuck with shit like that personally.
when it was
Matter
definitely.
of fact, in the friend situation, I will say this too. I've had women in my life tell me who they didn't want me to fuck around with or be with, like, meaning like hang out with, guys wise, like they don't want me to hang out with these people because they're bad influences. I'm all for being like, hey, can you just watch this person, because they're not gonna give a fuck if you do a little wrong behind my back, man. I like positive influences. Like, my friend group is super positive. Please just hope you have a positive friend group. If you fuck up, I like I want them to address you, because yo, why you be fucking up? Like, I don't want you hanging around people who don't respect me because they got a fucked up life and they want to put you in a shitty situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference, like, compared to like, oh, I don't want you being friends with none of these people because you're just a jealous guy. That's disgusting behavior. Tell me.
Slow
My bad.
over
I had to make
time
that very clear.
that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw he would
Mm.
throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise
Oh,
very easily.
what the fuck?
He would
What the
throw
fuck?
his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time
What
it
the
even
fuck?
hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye. But he always was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, of course I'm not gonna think that, he's
What the
yeah.
fuck? He manipulated you. Brainwashed you. He manipulated you.
I just brushed it off, and looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the
She was in need of, like, not a father figure. I'm not gonna say that, but she just came from dealing with stalkers just by the way she looks. Like, and this is no disrespect, but she doesn't look like somebody who's been into, like, oh, I could fight for myself. She looked like one of those, like, women who, she might have a boyfriend and they might have their cozy time. Like, she seems very reserved and very into her own space and very comfortable with her own things and not confrontational. So it gives off also a vibe that maybe you should be more of a protector for her and not more or less like not the monster that she's scared of. Like, you know what I mean? So you manipulated her, and those little things can give scare tactics to a woman. It could do that to a man too. And you had her fucked up. She knew it was wrong, but she started becoming more scared of you rather than more in love with you. If that makes sense.
Start of him
Wow.
testing my boundaries, if that makes sense.
Wow.
So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close, and then
wow.
Again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened.
What the fuck is that?
Like I said, all that's public. You can find all that. See, like, what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. He was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, I always believed that he was. But
Yikes.
That, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and
oh my god, man,
it's honestly
kind of
not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse. There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped.
She got to take it easy, man. I could tell she's like super jittery.
And again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it, and to me at the time it made sense because I was like, well, of course, like, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better. It makes sense. But yeah,
Yikes.
We were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of like things like events or sponsors or like just special things for a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but
yikes.
The first time that we ever streamed at the same time
an ass schedule.
Was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit.
Wow.
So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this.
Really? Wow.
We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. We're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean?
What the fuck?
And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying, like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. And basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's
Oh, nah, he's sick.
I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during...
Man, that is sick. I'm gonna kill myself. Let me tell you something, man. I gotta champion the shorty on Wit because she knows all my fucking stress, man. She knows, and sometimes I think I put her through hell, bro. I owe her so much, bro. I be putting her through hell, just not really putting her through hell, but like, if there's somebody I'm gonna run to her. And I'm like, yo, man, I can't believe man, YouTube's fucking with my shit again. And damn, man, I fell off. Oh my god. You know, she's always trying to uplift me, and I'm just like always like negative, like, nah, man, it's not about uplifting, man. But I gotta say, man, huge support system there, man. And I understand how she feels too, because she wants to get back into her groove and everything too. The schedule is just insane, but man, trust, like, that is insane. It's never been about a competition, yo. That shit is crazy. So basically, he fucked her shit over because he was mad he wasn't getting views. That never happened in this household. That's crazy, bro.
Event. So there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real. But yeah, he starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door, so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so
what the hell?
There were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, Emmy, like, I hate all you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, this is like,
all you guys do is just take from me.
And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And
yikes.
I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just
Jesus Christ.
So I go back and I stream for a couple hours to finish the stream. Do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically.
Piece of shit.
And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him.
That's tough.
And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever.
That's so fucking terrible, bro.
So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that. And I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom.
Oh yeah, he did have holes in his wall. What the fuck?
Where he was upset at me. and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour.
Oh no,
and,
this
like,
nigga's
one time
sick.
he even said like,
Now he's a
"Now we're
sick
going to
ass
die,"
dude.
like threatening to kill both of us.
Yo, that motherfucker is sick. He is sick. That motherfucker is sick. He needs some help. That's some sick ass shit, Miz. I ain't gonna lie, Mizkif, whatever. That's some sick ass shit, and I really hope you get some help. I'm not gonna talk shit about you. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about you. I mean, I might say a couple comments, but I ain't gonna say, "Oh, you're a pussy." But I'm gonna say, man, yo, son, that's some sick shit, bro. You need some severe, like some serious help. Some serious help. Like, listen, this is what I say about people with content creation. It gets very nasty. Do you understand, man? If my shorty was to blow up way bigger than me, way more bigger than me in content creation, man, that's time I get to relax, man. I'll be hype as fuck. And now I could take a step back and might enjoy some games at night with my friends and just take a step back, man. Like, we don't got that mentality, bro. We don't got that. Yo, that shit is sickening, B.
And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, "Oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me." And I was like, "Oh, well, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so."
The
Which
fuck?
led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
What the fuck, yo?
Then at
Is
home,
you
other things would
Mr.
happen,
Beast hit
like
him, but
when
now
he
you?
tried
What
to
the fuck
sleep,
is
and he
wrong with
would
you?
scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because
What?
I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better.
Oh no, he's
So
weird.
basically, I felt like
He's weird.
I
He's
was
weird.
kind
He's
of
weird.
stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value
Wow.
to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be
Wow.
punished for it. And
Wow,
this
that's
felt
some
like a very
fucking weird shit, dude.
rough situation to be stuck in because I mean,
Oh,
streaming is
wow.
my hobby and my job. Like it's a huge part of my life, even before
Wow.
I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I
Wow.
would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And I didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna
Wow,
go
this
take
is
a nap."
sad.
And he'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine." I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet.
Wow, I feel so bad, bro.
But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off.
Wow, in front of Esfin?
And
I
there
don't
was,
know. If y'all don't know who Esfin is, that's another creator as well. I think an Indian dude. I'm not too sure, but he seems chill. I don't know anything about him in a negative light. He just seems chill, sneakerhead, if I'm not mistaken. Dude just be vibing, bro. He just be streaming. He just be chilling. I don't really know anything bad about him as well. I think Tectone used to be a part of OTK too. But Tectone got his own share of things that he's got going on in his life, personal, and he just, he's just dealing with his things day by day. You know what I mean?
that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed,
Man.
and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, "Emmy, like, what are you doing?" Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, "Oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home?" And that
Yeah.
roommate like later asked me about it. And they were like, "What the fuck was that? Like, are you okay?" And I was just like, "Oh, it's nothing," because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically.
Yikes.
I
Damn,
honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go.
I need to watch other
I
people's reaction to this. This shit is sad as
the
fuck.
house that I lived in before this one, like pretty much immediately after the like breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still like scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but
Wow.
I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house because he just
Is that a
randomly started
bunny?
like screaming at Cheddar and was like, "Get that fucking cat out of my house!"
Oh, cat.
So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car, and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, "Hey, can you come tomorrow?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then I literally moved the next day.
Jesus Christ. I feel so bad for her,
Moving
man.
out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, I at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway. So, but
And my bad again if I'm too quiet. I'm really listening to
after
this,
I moved
understanding
out,
this.
we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hoped that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change, and like even talk to other people and like kind of present like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms, so that means he'll be satisfied and be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because
I doubt it
I
though.
would try to push for it. It just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, nah, but I bet you anybody who's being weird.
But I mean, obviously, hence me doing the stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk from closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying, without
what the fuck?
checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble.
Yo, what's up with bro? Yo, bro is bipolar, bro. Bipolar depression, bro. Like he just got like actions that just that happen out of wonk. Like it doesn't. It's readable, but also unreadable if you're like stuck in a situation with someone like him. Like immediately he comes over to try to hug you, but some people think like sex is gonna be the same thing. That's also a form of abuse and like manipulation because everybody loves sex. You feel me? Everybody love that feeling. So in those moments, that shit might hit, but then after it's done, she still might feel like, no, man, it ain't good that I'm with you, man. That, like, yeah, the shit felt but like, yo, you really still you might kill me. Like, nah, bro, that shit
or
ain't
other
it.
streamers around us, or like, you know,
Shit, that ain't
making things
cool,
weird
man.
for
That
viewers.
ain't
I know that
cool.
probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better, and that he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say,
What the fuck?
Tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish.
That motherfucker
He would
is weird, bro.
often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again,
nah, that motherfucker weird, bro. That motherfucker weird. I can honestly say that I've never had an argument with no woman based on video games, my G, and them being better than me. I always found that shit attractive too. When you could put me on to some shit in the game, just on some cool shit, we vibe, and you might know something. You know what I'm saying? Because I could get really deep into these video games, man, and really be in my bag. But that shit cool, like, you know what I'm saying? Your shorty be like, oh wait, I got you, like, just on some cool shit. That is fucking weirdo behavior. The fact that you're so fucked up, you might need to be on medication. Yo, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like 75% of YouTubers is fucked up in the head. Whether they got depression and not saying like, and this is serious stuff. Depression is a real serious thing. Anxiety, being anxious, bipolar, schizophrenic. Like it's how you carry yourself, how you take care of yourself. Are you taking care of yourself? Those are the most important things. But this shit right here, this motherfucker is sick.
I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of.
Bro, she got receipts on,
Show
bro.
what I'm saying.
She got receipts on, bro. Screenshots, man. Oh my God. Oh no.
I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if you want to read this later, that's fine, I guess.
Hold on.
Play the tank, Emmy. Do it. Let me handle all the hate.
But how do I know it's not just someone who doesn't follow? Yes, I'm still wanting to be DPS, but for dungeons, I have to tank. Yeah, you really don't like you don't because you aren't a tank. Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't have anything. Emmy, you just take. Because now I'm going to get compared nonstop. Because now people are just gonna say you're better. Because I told you this when you first told me you wanted to play warrior. Oh my God. Now let me just say this. It's like if they're, as big as they are with content creation, as many comments and trolls, you're feeding into the chat, bro. You should have been proud that you're with somebody who's that big of a creator. But some people treat this shit in some insane ways. And I'm not gonna lie, it gets to them so much. You start fucking up things around you, whether if it's your health, your relationships with your friends, your love life, all this shit. The fact that the chat is whatever the chat does to him created this behavior that was already instilled in him. However, it gets triggered and he has these episodes to the point where he's so sick of people always like he feels like he's not validated enough. They always compare him to others, especially the person that he was with. But he's taking it out on her rather than saying to the chat, yo, chat, fuck you. Honestly, like, fuck y'all. Yo, y'all bugging. I don't give a fuck if she's better than me. Who cares? She's better be, but that's dope. But no, he's reversing it and taking it out on her. Don't dude me ask for one thing with you. Don't be a tank, and now you're tanking. What can I do? Don't tank. Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank, let me do it. Let me handle the hate. Do it. Let me handle the hate, the criticism, and your worst. And you're worse than Emmy. Emmy's so much better. Yo, the chat can be so bad that you have to mistreat your significant other. Bro, she's not even doing nothing wrong to you. She's not entertaining men in her chat. She's not out here doing sneaky links. She's not out here doing you dirty. This is a fucking video game, son. This is a fucking video game we talking about. She's not stripping for niggas. She's not doing none of that shit for no nigga, bro. You tripping, son. You bugging the fuck out, yo. You need some fucking help, B. Word. You need some fucking help, son.
The criticism that you're worse than Emmy's. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparisons is nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah.
Yo, this motherfucker's a loser. The fact that she has to give explanations over a video game, son, it's not even about her playing with a nigga at like 4 a.m. Or like on some texting a man late at night while you sleeping next to her and shit. And even if the guy's just her friend, like, yo, just come on, have some boundaries. Text him in the morning and something. Not late at night while I'm sleeping. Like, and I wouldn't do that to you either. You know, these are like, those are things that you can actually have substance with and negotiate and talk. Cause like on a respect level, you know, like there's men out there that think like just because a woman texts them back at 1 means that they got to be like available and shit. And same thing with men. They think when a woman texts them back, that means they don't give a fuck about their man. To avoid all that, hey, baby, let's have some boundaries. But this ain't even this. That ain't even that, bro. This shit is pathetic, son. This fucking video games, son. That's yo, son. You ruining your relationship over video games. This woman is successful. You crazy, motherfucker? What the fuck? Over dog shit gameplay.
Yeah, you can read that later, I suppose. If
Damn. This is some
like
fucked
I
up
said
shit.
Before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying. Because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was
What the
basically
hell?
too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And it was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me,
Sexually assaulting is
and just
crazy.
generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months.
Oh man, good shit.
But you think that's the end? It is unfortunately not.
What?
I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started.
Ooh, yikes.
He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those.
Ooh, she got receipts on that too? Oh my.
And at first it started simple, be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like first.
Hold on, go back, yo.
Like him expressing he was worried about things.
Hey, just to make sure you don't have recordings of me, right? I'm getting harassed that you do, and I'm assuming it's nothing. Do you know why I'm removed from everything? Why I'm kicked from OTK? Ooh, shit. Nobody's answering my calls, and I don't want to bother you, but I'm panicking and I don't understand what's happening. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own org? I just want to be okay with each other. Streaming live should be okay. Should have. Can we please? All right. I came home and feel terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone just knows what's happening. Can you please respond? I understand that we'll just leave you alone. But I would really appreciate it if we talk. I won't text you again. Jesus Christ.
Like at first it wasn't anything weird.
Dude, you're fucking lost cause, bro. Can we please talk, Emmy? I'm so sorry. God damn, bitch. Not her, but like goddamn bitch as in damn, so many text messages this motherfucker sending. Oh my God.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Damn, how the dad's going. Oh my God. Yo, Mizkif, you're cooked. You're fucking done. You're done. You just killed your own community. What the fuck? You just killed your own community. Everything's cooked. You're cooked. Wow.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And
Jesus
kind of
Christ.
Side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message because it doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the ChatGPT checker and all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
He ChatGPT'd apologies? Yo, you are an ass. You're a fucking bum and an asshole. So you chat GPT messages? She did a chat GPT checker? What the fuck? Oh, he did. One way to check if somebody uses chat GPT is this line right here. Chat GPT loves using that line in their sentences. He does it a lot. What the fuck? Yo, this thing is pathetic. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's one way to
like I said,
know.
at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start...
Hell no.
Hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person.
Yeah, you had to avoid that too.
This was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs. And he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing. And then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay. That's good to know, I guess.
Wow. The fucking
next story,
loser.
that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier. Because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop.
That's sick. That's some sick ass shit, B.
Where was I? Yeah, so, yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked, which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are going to talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him.
That motherfucker's sick.
And so
I just had to text my girl right now saying, yeah, this dude Mizkif is sick.
To me, Ray, and Cinna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself. And one of these stories was one that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird, it puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as like
The hero? I knew it.
Oh,
I was just about to say it. The hero. He was trying to paint himself as the captain, save a girl. I wasn't gonna say save a hoe because obviously she's not no hoe. But he was trying to be the motherfucking hero. That is insane, bro. That motherfucker is a sick bitch. You hear me?
Was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand, it's still very scary, but why are you acting like you, like, if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that, because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those situations safe, not him.
That dude Mizkif is ass.
To the original thing, the Ray and Cinna
that dude Mizkif is a loser, dude.
So, I was obviously panicking. Like, I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was, like, huge, like, public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And, I'm, like, crying. And, Cinna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them. And I'm, like, panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like, these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So, Ray, Cinna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all, messaging him to stop. And by the way,
wow,
Asmongold told me that
even Asmongold?
Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it. And
he saw the call and he kept ignoring it.
Keep talking because, yeah.
Wow.
Just a little note.
Wow.
I don't know exactly what, like, the other people said to him, but Ray and Cinna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, girls go through. Was that your job?
That wasn't your job to tell her personal business, dude.
Anyway, yeah, that all happened a couple of months into stop, like, you're making it worse. Addressing their communities. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips.
Wow.
After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting and calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married.
Wow.
I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not.
Delusional.
I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And, I mean, some of them did.
That dude's sick as
I
fuck,
also had
yo.
other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a, like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or, like, having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like, watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting.
Yo, if you know you did all that to her, I'm not saying like to get away with it, but if you know you did all that shit to her, man, leave that girl alone. Because if she wasn't willing to say anything, why the fuck you kept pressing the button? And on top of that, you started lying after? Fucking tripping, dog.
And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year.
Wow.
They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that.
Fuck?
And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if, like, I mean, people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of the messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it matters, it's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago was when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been, like, telling people things. Which, again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started, like, fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like, about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, "If Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her." Whatever that means. And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, "Hey, worried about her. Hope she's okay." You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life.
That motherfucker's weird, bro. He's weird, gang.
Yeah, that was Saturday. So
wow.
That pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this.
Nah, the way she's handling it is something that I would say is the most appropriate. You could tell the girl did not want to address this shit live. You don't want to address problems like this. You don't want to address when you have a stalker. You don't want to address any of that. You don't want to say anything that's going to enable the motherfucking chat so that way they can be like, so that way it curates some sort of plot or plan or this idea to the next person in the chat. No shame on the chat, man. The majority of the people in the chat are some of the best people that you ever had an interaction with. I love my community. I love having interactions with them. I love the fact that I could even tell them sometimes, yo, man, I love you, man. I love y'all. Because like I feel like they hear, but there's some people, they might be a lurker, it might, you don't know. And they're just sometimes not understanding of boundaries, and some of them just dealing with their own demons, and it goes from a watching to obsession to a hate watch to a I want to try to kill him. Like it's just weird shit. You know what I'm saying? But man, for the most part, I can understand why she didn't want to address it. But she's doing a whole year. She didn't look like she wanted it for clout. She's successful already. Why address this right for clout? No, she's already successful. She wasn't doing this shit for clout. I'm telling you.
A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content. So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment, and for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information. I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And yeah, that's my story of dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on, you know, I ever talked about it. And this whole time, it's been kind of hidden in plain sight, away from hundreds of thousands of people. And yeah, I know that me saying all of this,
I feel so terrible because I don't watch Emiru. I've seen a lot of her clips because they go viral.
But
this is just terrible.
Voice crack.
It's just sad.
I know talking about this probably won't make him or sorry, probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone. But I'm always glad that people will be aware of all of this now, and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding.
Yeah, his community's probably gonna cook his shit. His community probably gonna destroy him. Just like jail. You can go in there for gangbanging, robberies. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even killing another man that was like self-defense. But you go in there because you child molester or you a predator, pedophile, you killed a kid, you killed a wife. They don't fuck with that. Even if they were gangbangers too, killing people. They gonna fuck you up. And what I'm basically trying to say is, you never know. Some of his community probably don't fuck with the idea of abuse of women, sexual assault. Of course not. They're not gonna probably rob with him with that. They're gonna probably troll the fuck out of him. There's a line that's being crossed.
And it's all
oh my goodness, man.
And I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening, and a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all. But I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, grievances with him. But for the people who did know about this, thank you for being there for me through all of this and supporting me and cheering me on. And there were a lot of people as well who, even though they didn't know anything, without asking any questions, they still were very kind and supportive, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to put this out there and then, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both Texas and California.
Wow, good shit.
And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit.
Wow.
It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about.
Jesus Christ, there's just so much to take in.
Things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it, and I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore. It's out there. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Definitely not how I would have been liked. I really just want to, like I said.
Honestly, man, just that alone, I'm gonna wrap it right here. That was terrible. That was terrible shit. That was terrible shit, bro. Oh my God, it's not even like y'all both went back and forth with each other on some like y'all both toxic. You just completely just mistreated her, and she just wasn't even on that type of timing, bro. She was just simply streaming games, playing video games. It's not like she went back and forth with you and it created a toxic relationship between the two. You have demons that you are fighting, bro. You are a piece of shit. You ain't shit, bro. I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I hope that anybody dealing with this type of shit can try to find some healing properties from it, and just get themselves far away from that. Again, if it's both parties arguing and doing crazy shit, maybe I should both seek therapy together, but get far away from each other. I love you guys. It's your boy 3MG. Miz, this is fucked up. You're a weirdo. Emmy, hopefully you heal. This is sad, man. I'm out of here, man. Peace out, y'all. God bless everybody.